Okay, welcome everyone. We are holding 2 lines from the top of Daf Tzadik Aleph Amud Aleph, and we are dedicated especially tonight by Berish Gesserman, whose mother's yahrzeit is tonight, Miriam Sarah Bas Aryeh. Her neshama should have a lichtige Gan Eden, and she should be a Malitzi Yashar for her family, for all of us, and all of Klal Yisrael. We are also sponsored by Shalom Fogel, Yelenish Bas Yaakov Zev ben Yudaya, Rivka Bas Yaakov Yosef, Yemirim Bas God, Yosef ben Tzim ben Yaakov Zev, Ufur Shalema for Moshe Ayer ben Miriam, and for a great shidduch for Chayei Tzivya Bas Shoshana Gittel, also a great shidduch for Batya Bas Sarah, and we learn for a healthy mommy, healthy baby, for Li'ar Sarah and Ariel Bas Elza Rivka. We ask everybody to please have in mind L'Refuah Shalema for Rezel Bas Leah, L'Refuah Shalema for Yochai ben Ruchama, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fadel, Aaron ben Sarah. They should have a L'Refuah Shalema b'Seich Shachar Yisrael. Okay, now remember we said that Rabbi Yoshia said that from the pasuk of Min HaBokar Oy Min HaTzayin, we learn out that oifos do not need to have nesachim. If so, since Rabbi Yoshia holds that when it says Min HaBokar or Min HaTzayin, it means both, even if it doesn't say Yachtav, so then how does he know that when you bring a say Ari Alai Oila, it's only, it's not only that you have to bring both from Bakar and from Tzayin. Rabbi Yoshia, the Amar Afa Gav the Loik Siv Yachtav, Commandich Siv Yachtav Dami, even if it doesn't say Yachtav, if it just says Min HaBakar, Min HaTzayin, it's as if it said together, Li Boikra, he should need a pasuk to say that when you say Hari Elai Oila, you don't have to bring both. So Gemara says, yeah, because it's Pasha, Taksiv, Im Ola Karbonai Min HaBakar, there's 2 Pashas. If his Ola is from cattle, then like this. V'im Min HaTzayin Karbonai, if it's from the smaller animals, the sheep and the goats, it's like this. So obviously you don't have to bring both. When do we say that it's either or? That's when you specify. Hani mili b'mefarish. When you specify, I'm going to bring a small animal, or I'm going to bring a big animal. Aval b'stama, but if you just say Hari Alai Oila, I might think Laisi b'travayu. You have to bring both. Kamash Malan. That's why it says Min HaBakar Oy Min HaTzayin. Amar Toida Minayin. How do we know that there's nesachim by a thanksgiving offering? Talmud Leimer Oy Zevach. So the Gemara says, I don't understand. Why can't you learn out Toida from Zevach? Atu Toida Lav Zevachu? Is that not also a Zevach? Why do you need the extra O? Says the Gemara, I'll tell you why. It's just. So Kedai Ramina, I would think, Hoyov Ika Lechem Bahada, since there's already the 40 loaves accompanying the Toida, Loi Tibai Nesachim. Says the Gemara, but why is it different than by a Nazir? Or Ma'ishna, why is it different by an Ayel Nazir? The Ika Bahadei Lechem, there's 20 loaves with it, Ubai Nesachim. Says the Gemara, yeah, there's only 20. So Kedai Ramina Hasam Shnei Minim, there's only 2 types. Hachas, there is Arba Minim, 3 of Matzah, and 1 of chametz. I might think it doesn't need nesachim kamash malan. Says the Gemara, v'lichtay rachmana lefalei neder oila nedava, the express a neder or a nedava, v'loy by oila, and then it shouldn't need to say an oila because an oila is brought by neder and nedava. So why does it have to say oila? Says the Gemara, iloy kaser rachmana oila, hav amina. I would think v'asisam isha laHashem klal. That Vasisim Isham Lashem is a generalization. Lefale Neder Nedava, that's a prat. To express a Neder which is Hari Alai, or a Nedava which is Hari Zeh, is a prat. L'reach Nechaya, cause of a klal. Once it's a generalization, specification, generalization, klal a prat, a klal yata don ela kena prat. Ma'aprat mefurish davar she'ena ba'al chet. It's not something that's brought for sin. Afkol she'ena ba'al chet. Okay, so that would only exclude chatas and ashim. Oitzi chatas v'ashim she'en ba'al al chet. But then I would think that bechara ma'aser needs nesachim, because that doesn't come for sin. Avi bechara ma'aser pesach she'en ba'al al chet. I would think that it needs nesachim, and we said bechara ma'aser and pesach doesn't have nesachim. Talmud Leimer Oila, says the Gemara, Hashta D'chsiv Oila. Now that it says Oila Klal Prat Mar Mabispe, what do we include? There has to be an inclusion from the Klal Prat of Klal. Says the Gemara, Ma Prat Mefurish She'ena Mechuyev V'Oimed. It's a carbon that is not of an obligatory nature. Af Kol She'ena Mechuyev V'Oimed. So also anything else that's not of an obligatory nature. What does that come to include? Lahavi v'lodois kachim, that if a female animal of Hedgish gives birth, it needs nesachim, utmurasan, and an exchange, an illegal exchange, needs nesachim. Va'oila abba min ha'moisus, and the oila that comes from surplus and is brought in kayetz hamizbeach. Va'ashim shenita kluriya, and an ashim that Mark lost, he separated another one, then found the first one that's consigned to pasture and then is offered up as an oila. Or all sacrifices that were slaughtered shaloi lishma, which you have to bring, and then you have to bring another one to fulfill your requirement, that they all need nesachim, that they all need libations. So the Gemara says, okay, so now you're established that whenever it says oy, this opens a Pandora's box. Now that you established that whenever it says oy, it teaches you the drasha, v'hashta da'amrit oy l'drasha, l'falei neder oy l'nedava, whether you say a hari alai variety, or you say hari zeh, what is the oy coming for? Lamali, l'chalkam. It's just, to separate them. So I would think that, when you need nesachim, that's only when you bring an oila and a nedava. Adamaisi neder nedava. But otherwise, loyally by nesachim, you don't need libations. Kamash malan, the icy neder l'chudei by nesachim. If you bring neder alone, you need nesachim. You icy nedava l'chudei icy nesachim. Says Gemara, hanichal Rabbi Yoshe. That's good according to Rabbi Yoshe, who says that it means both, even if it doesn't say yachdav. El Rabbi Yonasan, here it doesn't say yachdav, so it's either or. So lamali, why do I need the o? So kedai techamina, I might think I see neder l'chudei libay nesachim. If you bring a neder alone, you need nesachim. I see nedava l'chudei or nedava alone libay nesachim. But if you bring a neder and a nedava, since you're being so magnanimous, you're bringing two. I see neder and nedava. I might think it should be enough with one nesach for the two of them. Tizke b'nesachim dechad kamash malan. You have to give for both of them nesachim. Now it says b'moyadechem. From b'moyadechem we learned out that the oilas re'iyah and the shalmei chagiga need nesachim. Well, why does it say oy b'moyadechem? So again here, we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's of all the I's. Oy b'mayadechem lamali. Why does it say oy b'mayadechem? Now, I always think about what Irving quotes from me, that you have such a long daf, and the Vilna Gaon said that every word is a mitzvah saseh, so we're cashing in. I could see that Mark has a cash register in his mind, and he's cashing in every word, it's such dafim are gold mines. Oy b'moyadechem lamali. Why does it say oy b'moyadechem? So let's mute Eddie because we don't want to hear his murmuring. You know what I mean?
I hear Eddie. I like Eddie.
Let's mute. Marshall, we don't want to hear Marshall. So anyway, Marshall, I'm glad you're feeling better. My wife has COVID.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Baruch Hashem, I was spared. I went, I got myself tested, but I know till now I've been spared. It's not a bad case. It's just that she's not up to really doing anything. She's very sluggish, and but it's interesting. By Havdalah, she made a bar b'nei besamim, and she smelled the besamim. It didn't take away her smell. So anyway, oy b'mayadechem lamali. So kedai techamina hani mili de kamaisi oila beneder ushlamim benedava. Remember, you have to bring oilas re'iyah and shalmei chagiga. So I might think it's only if you bring an oila beneder, when you say by the oilas re'iyah hari alai, and the shlamim benedava, and the shlamim you say hari zeh, inami ibka. Aval eichid de kamaisi oila shlamim beneder, inami oila shlamim benedava, they're the same type. I might think shem neder echad v'shem nedava achasi. It's one class, and I might think you could get away with one nesachim. V'tiskelei ben nesachim dechad. That's what we learn out from oy kamash malan. Oy b'mayadeicha. So the Gemara says there's another pasuk. V'chisasa ben bakar. You make cattle oyla oy zevach, oyla or a zevach lamali. Why do we need the o over there? So the Gemara says, Itzrich Sokadait Ramina, again, the Oila is the Oilas Riyah, the Zevach is the Shalmei Chagiga. Sokadait Ramina, Hani Mili Echad Kamaisi, Oilu Shlamim Beneder, Inami Oilu Shlamim Benedava. So it's at least two different types of carbon, so you need to have two different types, two Nesachim. Aval Echad Kamaisi, Shtei Oilas. If you bring two oilas, chada b'neder v'chada b'nedava, one as a neder, one as a nedava, inami shnei shlamim, echad b'neder v'echad b'nedava. So you're bringing two types of the same carbon. I might think you only have to bring one nesach for each class. Ema shem shlamim achasi and shem oila achasi, and each class should be enough one nesachim. Tiskleim nesachim dechad kamash malan. Lefale neder oy shlamim, to express a neder oy shlamim lamali. You see, I might think that if you have two oilas and they're both nedarim, or they're both nedavas, so it's the same class of carbon and the same class of variety of type. So one is a neder, one is a nedava. Inami shnei shlamim chad b'neder v'chad b'nedava. Aval heichad de kamaisi shtei oilos b'neder, two oilos both as a neder, or shtei oilos b'nedava, or two oilos b'nedava. Inami shnei shlamim b'neder, two shlamim as a neder, or shnei shlamim b'nedava. Since they're both the same carbon and also the same class, shem oila echadu v'shem neder echadu, it should be enough with one nesachim, with tiskalei nesachim dechad kamash malan. Rabbi Yeshua, hai min abakar oy min atzayin lamali. You see, he said min abakar oy min atzayin came to be mamayed that you don't have nesachim by oifas. But what does he do with the oy? So kedai techam ani mili betrei mine. I might think it's only if you bring two types. Aval b'chad mina, if you bring one type, two of them, tiskelei nesachim dechad, it's enough with one nesachim. Kamash malan. Okay, well, mute somebody. I don't know why people don't realize they have to mute themselves. Now, finally, it says kasu tasa le'echad. So you should do for one lamali. So says the Gemara, I might think if two kahanim do two of your karbanos at the same time, maybe you only need one nesach. So kedai termina hani mila b'zeh hazeh. Aval babas achas, if two kahanim do your two karbanos at the same time, tiskelei b'chad, nesachim dechad, kamash malan, that even if it's done as one, you still need each one to have nesachim. Now we said that chatas and oshim never have nesachim except for the exception of the chatas and the oshim of Mitzayra. Ela shechatosai and shel Mitzayra va'ashamai ton nesachim. The chatas and the oshim of a Mitzayra needs to have libations. So the Gemara says, Minani Mili. How do we know this? The Tana Rabbanan, it says, Ushloisha esrainim soilas mincha, 3 esrainim of flour mincha, b'mincha abo im hazevach hakosim medaber. It's talking about the mincha that comes with the zevach. Now, by a Nazir, then he finishes his Naziris Tatara, there's 3 karbanas. A chatas, an oila, excuse me, by a Matzayra, there's 3 karbanas. There's a chatas, an oshim, and a oila, correct? Yeah, it's correct. There's no shlomim. It's only an oila. Chatas, an oshim, and an oila. So here, when it says that you bring 3 esaron, it means that each one has nesachim. Ata oimer b'mincha ba'im hazevach, or eina ela b'mincha aba b'fnei atzma. Maybe it's coming to tell you that the Matzayra also has to bring an independent carbon mincha. Kishu oimer v'hela akayin esa oila v'esa mincha, and the Kayin brings the oila together with the mincha, so you see, it's talking about nesachim. Every yomer b'mincha aboim hazevach hakosim medaber. Says the Gemara, but how do I know that you need wine? V'adayin eini yodem tu'una nesachim im lav. Talmud leimer v'yayin l'nesech revi'as ahin. Yayin l'nesech, a quarter of a hin. Ta'asa la oila zevach l'keves ha'echad. And there you have the 3 karbanas. Oila zu oila, oilas mitzayra. Zevach zu chatas mitzayra. And oila zevach, that's the asham mitzayra. Zu asham mitzayra. So you see that they need to have nesachim. Says Gemara, why do I need the oy? V'tefik le'travayu mizevach. Let's learn both of them out from the word zevach, because zevach also refers to a chatas. Damar ma chatas v'oshim minayim talmud loymer zevach. Says the Gemara, hani miliyechad detravayu ki adodinenu. That's only where the chatas and the oshim provide the same service for kapara. Aval heichad the oshim lahachshir, over here by the Mitzayra, the oshim allows him once again to enter into the camp, and the chatas is l'chaper. I might think that they're different, but in on trei kroi, it needs 2 psakim, oy and zevach. Zevach zu chatas mitzayra. Says the Gemara, how do I know? Maybe zevach is the chatas of the oshim, of the nazir. It's coming to tell me that the oshim nazir needs a mincha. Says the Gemara, how do you know zevach zu chatas mitzayra? Ve'ema zu chatas v'oshim de nazir. Says the Gemara, no. Lo yisol kedaitach. The Tanya u'minchasem v'niskayem ba'oilasoi u'b'shlomov hakasem medaber. By the Nazir, it says, now a Nazir has to bring an oila and shlamim and chatas. A Nazir de Tara. So by the Nazir it says, umin chasam v'niskehem, it's meal offering, it's libations, ba'ilosai ubishlamav. It's talking about its burnt offering and its peace offering. Ata aimer ba'ilosai b'shlamav, maybe it also includes the chattis. Ayin ela afilu chattis, because the Nazir the Tara also brings a chattis, because it's a sin to be pirish min hayayim. Tamalaymer ve'esa ayil yasa zevach shlamim, and the ram he makes a zevach shlamim, or minchasei v'niskasei. Now it already said the ayil. Ayil b'chlal hayil, v'lama yatsa. Why does it say it again? Lahakashelav, ma ayil miyuchad ba b'neder nadav, it comes voluntarily. Af kol ba b'neder nadav, what else needs nesachim that comes b'neder nadav? In other words, the shlamim, and not the chattis. Says the Gemara, Oyla, when it says Oyla zu Oylas Mitzayr, Ve'ima zu Oyla Yoledes, maybe it's coming to tell me that the Oyla of a Yoledes needs Nesachim. Says the Gemara, no, the Oyla of a Yoledes we know from a different pasuk. Amar Abaya, Oyla Yoledes Mesefer Dekra Nafka. We learn it out from a latter part of the pasuk. The Tanya Rabbi Nassan Omer lekeves. That was a word in the pasuk that we didn't darshan. We mamash have to darshan every word. Zu oilas yoledes. This is the oila of a woman that gave birth. That it also needs nesachim. Ha echad. What do we do? It says lekeves ha echad. What do we do with the word ha echad? Ze echad aser shel meiser. Remember. If Michal Avram was a little bit tired, a little sluggish, and it was counting out the animals from the corral, he counted 10 by accident, 9, and then he counted 11, 10. So he said the 10th one is Kaddish because it was 10. If he counted 11, 10, there's Halach l'Moshe Misinai that's also brought as a carbon, and it's telling us that would need Nesachim. So the one that he counted, if he counted animal 11 as 10, shekar shlamim, and which is a big chiddush, because 10, which is the ikamit mitzvah meiser behema, doesn't have shlamim. But the 11th one that he counted 10 doesn't have nesachim. Because remember, meiser behema doesn't have nesachim. But 11 that he counted 10, which is a tafel, that does get nesachim. And the Gemara says that's a real oddity. Now Rava just addresses the shaila. How did we know that the pasuk that says 3 is talking about Mitzayra and not Nazir? So Rava Ameizel Davashitzarach Shloisha Ribuyin. What needs 3 Ribuyim? Havi Aimezu Mitzayra. Because Nazir would need 4 ribuyim, because there's an Oyla, Shlamim, a Chattis, and then an Oshim for a Nazir Tumah. So since it's 3 ribuyim, it's rather talking about Mitzayr. Says the Gemara, La'ayil Lamali. Why does it say La'ayil? Amar Rav Sheshes L'Rabbeis Eloi Shel Aaron. The ram of Aaron on Yom Kippur that needs Nesachim. We said the karbanos of Yom Tov we know from b'mayadechem. Elu shel Aaron b'mayadechem nafka. Says no, that's only communal karbanos. So kedai t'ramina hani mili the tzibur, a communal carbon. Avol diyachid loy, but an individual maybe it doesn't need nesachim. Says Gemara, ma'ishna may oilas yoledes. What do I need a chiddush? The oilas yoledes is also an individual carbon, and it needs nesachim. So the oilus yoledes doesn't have a fixed time. But the ayil of Yom Kippurim, it's private and has a fixed time. I might think it doesn't need nesachim. Kamash malan. Oila ayil lamali. Boy, we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's over here. I'm telling you, unbelievable. And I should, before I go any further, I should welcome everybody in, as I welcome in Sean Fogel, and the one and only, we'll call him by his alias, we don't know his real name, Eddie Chazan. Michal and Baruch Ian and Yisrael Fisher and Yaakov Warman and Yitzi Fuchs and Mark Frankel. Mark, a pretty good record, I'm telling you. And Marshall Castle and Menachem Umansky, Ben Zion Cohn, Irving Fishbaum, Stephen Holtzman, Reb Ilya Shutman, Naftali Jablin, Yitzi Muller, Gabriel Epstein, Shimon Klein, Avram Rezepkowitz, Abe Arbach, Elia Yaffe, Danny Vogel, Shelley Zeitlin, Richard Rosenzweig. Great to have you and over here in Shul. And again, we hope that we should be able to recapture a minyan in Shul. Please, Danny Vogel, when you can, speak to Florence. You should be able to come here and help us out with a minyan, as we have tonight. We have Iran and Ruvain Shannet and Michal Avram, Chaim Kramer, Gedalia Engel, Berish Gesserman, and myself. So that's already 7. So we got to get. Could you give a call to Shlomo?
Which one?
Shlomo Brunson, yeah.
Be'ez Hashem, I will get back there, Rabbi.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it.
What time was Marav?
Huh?
What time? Marav.
Tonight, Marav was what time?
Well, it's after Mincha. The Mincha is 7:15, so figure about 7:35.
7:35. 7:30, but it's going to get later soon.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have to push the daf a little bit. That's what we did last year, right?
Maybe later.
Yeah, we pushed the daf. So soon the Marav will be right before the daf. You'll remind me, everybody, that after the shir, before we close up, I'm going to count Sfira.
When do you want to push the daf till? What time are you thinking?
No, it's going to go slowly, incrementally with Marav.
Okay.
I don't know, Marav is that thing that we do in the night after Mincha.
Well, we don't like to do that in Chicago. It conflicts with the shir.
I understand. It conflicts
It's
with...
as late as 9 o'clock, because it's dark.
Right. But that's okay. He's an hour earlier, so, he's
I always come early except the shir, because you guys are an hour earlier than me.
whenever you're here, Marshall, it's a breath of air.
I noticed the way that was said.
Well, I didn't say hot air.
Thank
Anyway, so says the Gemara, Oy la'ayil lamali. Why does it say O la'ayil? L'rabbi says apalgus. Now the palgus is a very interesting thing. A ram and a lamb is not two different species. It's just age related. A sheep is its first year. In its second year, it's called a ram. It's amazing that a person could learn Shas and think that a ram is a different animal. It's not a different animal. It's just that a lamb is the first year, and the ram is the second year. And this difference is not by a female. In other words, a female, where in the second year, it's called a ewe. There was a grandmaster, chess grandmaster, that was ewe. But it's a ewe. The nesachim of a 1-year-old female lamb and a 2-year-old are the same. It's a Revi'ah Sahin. It's only by the male that it's different. This is fascinating. But then there's something even more fascinating. And that's a sheep in its 13th month is not a keves and it's not an ayil. It's called a palgus. So, says the Gemara, Ola ayil amali, l'rabbis es a palgus, that the palgus gets the nesachim of an ayil. In other words, an ayil is shlisha sahin, which is 4 lug. 4 lug. 4 lug of wine and 4 lug of oil. Says Rabbi Yochanan Dama Bar Yehud. That's good according to Rabbi Yochanan. It says that a 13-month-old is called a palgus. That nan hikrivai maybe alav nischei ayil. You bring the nesachim of an ayil. If he said that he is going to bring an ayil, then he brings the nesachim of an ayil, but he's not yotzei his neder, because a palgus is not an ayil. V'amar Rabbi Yochanan oyla ayil l'rabbis as a palgus, that the palgus needs the nesachim of an ayil. El Bar Pada, who says that if a person says hariyalai either keves or ayil, he brings a palgus and he brings the nesachim of an ayil and stipulates. If it's an ayil, then this is its nesach. If it's a keves, then it only needs a quarter, and the extra is an independent nedava. The Amar Maisei or Maisnei, the Sveikahu, it's a doubt. So then obviously if we're doing something in a doubt, we don't learn it out from a pasuk, because a pasuk doesn't tell us a doubt. It's Yikra Revuye Sveika. So then what does he do with the word oy la'ayil? Says, you're right. Vade lebar pada kashet. According to Bar Pada, the oy la'ayil is difficult. Now, kochi ya'asel l'shora echad, oy la'ayil echad, oy l'sebak savim, oy ba'izim. Now we're going to dash in each one of these words. The first thing is, by a bull, there's no difference between a calf or a bull. They have the same nesachim. L'shara echad matam alayma. L'fisha matzinu shechilek hakasa bein nisrei ayil and nisrei keves, between a 1-year-old lamb and a 2-year-old ayil. Yochel nechalek bein nisrei par and nisrei egel. Maybe a par that has a chatzi ahin, maybe an egel is different. Talmud Leimer l'shara echad. It's the same. Oyla ayil matam alayma. Lefisha matzinu shechila kakas ben nischei ben shana lenischei ben shtayim. That if it's 1 year old, it's a reviya sin. If it's 2 years old, it's a shlisha sin. Yachon nechalik ben nischei shtayim lenischei ben shalosh. Maybe if it's 3 years old, it has different nisachim. Talmud Leimer oyla ayil echad. After 2 years, 3 years, 4 years is all the same. This is very basic stuff, Rabbi said. This is mamish used all over Shas, something that we don't know. It differs between a male lamb of 1 year and a 2-year-old. That 1 year it's a reviya sahin, and at 2-year-old it's a ram and a shlisha sahin. Yochel nechalik be nichsei kizza lenichsei rechela. We should make a difference between a female lamb in the first year and a ewe. I believe I am pronouncing it right. It is a ewe. Yeah, it's a ewe. I'm not sure if the Grandmaster pronounced his name that way. I'm not sure. He was a no. He was a masterful chess player. His games are masterful. It says a kid amongst the lamb, that the nesachim of a female is a reviya sahin regardless what age. That's a really big chiddush. It's not this Gemara, which could be applied all over Shas. It's the only place you learn this, is over here. The same thing by goats. I might think that there's a difference between age. Between a young lamb and an older ram. I might think we should make a difference between a young goat, a kid, and an older goat, Talmud Laima Oba Izim, there is no difference. They're always a Revi'as Ahin. Amra Papa, Badiklon Rava. Rava tested us. Nistei Rechala Bekama. Oh, it's a trick question. What's the nesach of a 2-year-old female lamb? We found a place in the Mishnah. We found a Mishnah. This is without, the help of AI, without the help of Google. They had Google in their brain. Okay? They had it all mapped out in their Masudar, in their mind. It says Gedi. There was a token, a receipt. Remember, we said in the Beis HaMoiked there was a lishkas achisamais, and you gave a receipt and you got the proper nesachim. When it said Gedi, that was a Revi'as Ahin, and that's mishamesh v'nischei sign shel gedolim v'shel ketanim, for sheep and goats, big and small, shel zecharim v'shel nekevus, male and female, chutz mishaleilam, except for the male ram that was older than a year, that had a different thing. That's why there was a token for an ayil, because that was already a third. But all of the other ones were a quarter of a revius. Okay, Rabbi say we did finish Masechtas Tamid already tonight, earlier on this evening. Tomorrow we're going to start Be'ezus Hashem Masechtas Midas, and now we're going to count Svira. The Shem Yichud Kutcha Berichu